I'm supposed to forget about, I dream about. And boy, they were cruel and they were terrible and they were, but my goodness, there are things that these people will do that just go beyond the worst humanity. And sure, we have a terrible regime in Russia, we've got a terrible regime in China. I can't compare dictators and murderers and dictators, but it doesn't get worse than the two Ayatollahs. It does not get worse. And Madame Rashidi has had to live through the ups and the downs, the ridiculous putting of this organization on the terrorist list by Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton was a massive weakling and a coward. We would have been terrorists for 10 years if you had a real president, a man with conscience. You have a guy that wants to appease the Ayatollah. You get that? What? In the name of heaven, to possess the thing, you should appease the Ayatollah. By that time, he held our citizens hostages and tortured them, Americans. He had killed hundreds of Marines, United States Marines. My view of it is when you kill United States Marines, you don't get to live anymore. It's over. In order to make sure you don't kill any other United States Marines. Disrespect on it. I don't know why we let him get away with this. I don't know why my country let him get away with this. I don't know why Europe let him get away with this. I do not understand the fawning and the obesity to this monster. You should have thrown out a long time ago. We've thrown out people that were not nearly as bad as this guy. But there's something very sick going on here. I think we're at the end of it. I pray. We're at the end of it. And believe me, it's going to be a long road from here to there. You're going to get there. The NHK is going to get there. Madame Rashidi is going to get there. Because we're the only ones. Stay with it all these years. You haven't backed off. You haven't looked the other way. You haven't taken
Is
a
the
few
future
years
president,
off.
most likely, of Iran?
When they were taking people from
Speaking from
Ashcraft
behind
and
the
saying,
podium,
we'll let you out, we'll let you go home. Just tell us about
there
the
she is.
terrorism. It's not difficult. People in Ashcraft told them to go to hell.
There's the former president of the European Union, Charles Michel. Linda Chavez, former Transportation Secretary of the United States.
So, now, we're this close. We have to also thank Prime Minister Netanyahu, because we would not be able to do what we did in America if it weren't for him. If he didn't spend a year clearing out all the proxies that Iran had set up. Iran, a year and a half ago, looked like an empire. It looked like they were accomplishing the Islamic Republic of Iran. They had half of Iraq. We got Iraq back. At one time, they had all of Iraq. They had half of Iraq. They had all of Syria. They had the Houthis killing for them. Very fierce terrorists. They had Hezbollah who couldn't be defeated. I don't even think they exist anymore. You go to Lebanon and ask somebody, you would Hezbollah? No. I don't know Hezbollah. I've never met with Hezbollah. Please, no. That was the force that was going to defeat Israel and America. I think they surrendered 2 days before the shooting started. And they supported, of course, Hamas, which really was a change in tactic. They never supported Hamas before. Hamas is a Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas is a fully, completely Sunni organization. But they saw the value of supporting Hamas. And tying up Israel and tying up the United States. And setting up targets that we would have to hit rather than hit them. So Hamas killed plenty of people. The Houthis killed plenty of people. Hezbollah killed plenty of people. Not just Israelis, not just Americans, but ships in the Red Sea. They weren't doing that. Iran was doing that. Iran was directing it. Iran was paying for it. Iran was using the money that Obama and Biden gave him to do it.
That's true. We got pallets of money. Remember that palletized money?
How about cash? Obama sent them cash. I used to be a prosecutor. You know what you send cash to? Drug dealers, organized criminals, and terrorists. Take your pick. What's he doing walking around like a billionaire? After sending money to terrorists, the money used to kill Americans. That's when Soleimani was still alive. That's when that American cash went to Soleimani. So we have family after family after family in America without their son and without their daughter because of the Quds Force. Why are we delaying? Man, I'd have done it 10 years ago. And then after the great work that Israel did in showing what a paper tiger they are, I mean, they basically wiped out their entire military. No defense. America conducted probably one of the greatest military single acts ever. Moving about 20% of its air force over Iran and taking out their most sensitive nuclear facilities that couldn't be reached because they were too deep in the ground. Like how they were too deep in the ground? Not if you hit them with 30,000-pound bombs 12 times. You get to China if you do that. So,
Get to China if you do that.
now the place is open. The President gave him a ceasefire for 50 days. His response to that Ayatollah, the monster, was to have a celebration in the streets of Tehran. And what they chanted, after the president, well, unless you have your mind, you realize that the power to really destroy you. What he just did to you was one night. And by the way, you don't even defend yourself. They didn't even shoot a gun. That probably was the largest air attack without an answer in history of air warfare. Which tells you their defenses are down, they're gone. Israel took them out. Gone. They can't defend themselves. So now you have a celebration, and what did the Ayatollah do? He says, okay, death to Israel. Okay, you know what he said. Then he says, death to the NDK. We always said that too. Now here's a country that just and you're supposed to destroy them. Probably could have killed them if they wanted to. And he said, death to America. It's got to be crazy. And now he won't negotiate. And he's got 50 days, which the president said was going to be short. So I don't know what's going to happen because I don't predict things like that until the day it happens. The day that the president sent the bombers over, I woke up in the morning. I saw his face as he got on the airplane heading back to Washington. And I said to Dr. Maria, he's going to bomb today. Because I know Donald Trump for 40 years. And he just pushed him so far. He's a man of peace. He wants peace. He doesn't want to be involved in war unless he absolutely has to be. And he has given the Ayatollah all the swing that he needs to choke himself. which he's done. Now the question becomes, there'll be some more of that. There'll be some more destruction.
There's the
How do we
ambassador, lady ambassador to Denmark.
practicality of overthrowing this guy? How do you get around?
There's
Well, from what I think,
Miriam
the engagement
Ravijani.
tell you, because they've done something that's very important.
Of course, Rudy
They actually
Giuliani.
sat in Paris and even in Albania. They're very well represented inside of Iran. If you go to them and say to them, did you work with the Mossad to kill those scientists? They tell you no. And if you go to Mossad and you say, did you work with them to kill those scientists? They tell you no. Well, this is me, only did it. The answer to those two no's is yes. We could have been done here. And the fact that they were able to use drones in Iran is enormously important. That means that Iran has been infiltrated. Iran is, who knows how badly it's been infiltrated. But they were knocking down little apartment buildings, little parts of apartment buildings with drones. Those drones didn't come from Israel. Too far away. Those drones came from the house that Iran's enemies, through great intelligence work, have probably occupied for 4 or 5 years. And who's in that house, in that apartment building? One of the nuclear scientists. They didn't do what Iran did. They didn't go bomb an entire building to kill the one guy. They took the one guy. They did 17 of those. That's incredible. Maybe more isn't going to be necessary. But maybe it is. So we have the Crown Prince who's come along.
Ooh,
I didn't even know there was a Crown Prince.
Baby Shaw.
Second Shah. And the biographer, I'll simplify it, said the first Shah was probably crueler, but he was very smart, and very conniving, and very tough, and very decisive. The problem with the second Shah was there was the diminution of the gene pool.
Yeah.
The second Shah, the one that ran away, couldn't make up his mind. When the British government and the CIA wanted to bring him back, he wasn't sure he was going to come back. If it wasn't for them, he probably would have gone off to the south of France and lived like a degenerate millionaire. Now we get to the third Shah. I don't think there's a gene pool anymore. I mean, this guy, what has this guy done to qualify to run New York City? Oh, can't imagine we got running in New York City. This guy shouldn't be running a sanitation company. He never worked. Never worked in his life. He's the son of privilege. He's the son of... I didn't stand up to them, not knowing whether you were going to live, being threatened by them. How about when they were going to come and kill us at the New Year's Eve celebration? The New Year's celebration in Ashraf 3. So they put up Ashraf 3. First thing those people wanted to do was kill us. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. So, I didn't see the Crown Prince come and help him. I didn't see him come to the events after there were the threats of death. I didn't see him come to an event after France when they wanted to kill us in France. They wanted to blow up 1,000 people in France. Just 3 months later, I didn't see the Crown Prince show up and say, yeah, if people are going to die, I'm going to die with them now. You never know. He's done nothing. He has nothing. I believe it is possible. I believe, like several English parliamentarians expressed the other day, given all the contact he has with the Revolutionary Guard, there are two things that come out of that. One is, it's possible he's a shut-up by now. He's working for them, not you.
Whoa.
But number two, that could very well be a crime. You're not allowed to deal with the Revolutionary Guard. They're a terrorist group. I'm going to ask here formally, and then I'm going to put in a letter. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, criminal investigation. Because maybe those contacts that he bragged about with the Revolutionary Guard were very innocent. I mean, the Revolutionary Guard, after all, are really nice people. Call them up, maybe talk about baseball games, or it could be that like we feel he's a traitor to you and to Iran. Anybody that can live off your money for that many years while you were because of Madam Raji, because of the people around her here, and mostly because of you. I know the sacrifices you've made have to live with you every night, your friends that you lost, how close you came. And who knows, we still face change. But it was worth it, because you're going to do something that human beings, if they get to do it, should feel blessed. You're going to bring freedom to Iran. You're going to bring freedom and bring back the Persian Empire, but an empire of democracy, freedom, love, with all of the great contributions that you've made.
Woo! 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 Rudy! Rudy! Rudy!
Thank you very, very much. Signore e signori, è per me un onore accettare il senatore Matteo Renzi, ex primo ministro italiano. Gli porgiamo